And welcome to ABC News Ghana. This is ABC Headlines. I am Khadija Isifu. Coming up in the headlines, Trade Union Congress has strongly condemned the latest adjustments to electricity and water tariffs, describing the increases as harsh, insensitive, and worse than robbing Peter to pay Paul. The Office of the Special Prosecutor has dismissed suggestions by private legal practitioner Martin that the office is investigating itself, stating that Martin Pegbu is not about the law. We have these and many more coming up. Do stay tuned. We are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at ABC News GH_. Now to the details. The Trades Union Congress has strongly condemned the latest adjustments to electricity and water tariffs, describing the increases as harsh, insensitive, and worse than robbing Peter to pay Paul. In a statement signed by Secretary General Joshua Ansah, the TUC expressed outrage at the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission's announcement of 9.8% electricity and 15.9% water tariff increases set to take effect on January 1, 2026. The union said the decision is particularly troubling because it coincides with the implementation of a 9% increase in the minimum wage and base pay, which workers had already described as inadequate. This increment has completely eroded the 9% wage adjustment for 2026. Clearly, government is demonstrating its insensitivity to the daily struggles of workers and Ghanaians. The TUC recalled that in 2025, the government granted a 10% wage increase while electricity tariffs rose by more than 18% cumulatively. With the high cost of living still biting hard, the union said workers had hoped for some respite, not another surprise hike in utility charges. The increases are to take effect from January 1, 2026. The very day the paltry 9% increase in the minimum wage and the base pay by the government will also take effect. This can only be described as the government's New Year's gift to Ghanaians. In plain language, government has robbed the poor Ghanaian worker of the 9% wage increase it had agreed to implement on January 1, 2026. What the government has done is worse than robbing Peter to pay Paul. Portions of the statement read. Away from that, private legal practitioner Martin Pegbu has been released by the Office of the Special Prosecutor after he was detained on Wednesday, December 3, a development that temporarily halted plans to question him over corruption allegations he has made against Special Prosecutor Kesi Ejibin. He was released Wednesday evening after meeting bail conditions set for him. Pegbu, who had arrived at the OSP for an engagement with investigators, reportedly clashed with the police officers at the entrance and was taken into custody before any interrogation could commence. Sources say the special prosecutor could not proceed with the questioning while he remained in police custody. He was later granted bail requiring a landed property in his name as security but when his lawyer returned to complete the process, Pegbu could not be found. The incident comes amid ongoing tensions between Pegbu and the special prosecutor. The lawyer has repeatedly criticized the OSP's investigative approach, accusing the office of procedural lapses and of assigning inquiries to junior officers who report directly to Mr. Ejibin. Speaking to journalists ahead of a previous meeting at the OSP late last week, Kpegbu said he would only cooperate with investigators if an independently constituted committee handled the case, insisting that the current setup compromises fairness and integrity. He has also referenced past concerns about the investigation into former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, alleging that the OSP mishandled basic procedural steps in that matter as well. Meanwhile, the Office of the Special Prosecutor has dismissed suggestions by private legal practitioner Martin Kpegbu that the office is investigating itself, calling the claim a deliberate distortion of standard institutional procedures. In a sharp response following his release from detention, the OSP clarified that its investigators are highly ranked officers, contrary to Mr. Kpegbu's assertion that the case was being handled by junior staff. Mr. Kpegbu repeatedly misleads the public by claiming that those handling the case are junior officers. In reality, their ranks are equivalent to Deputy Commissioners of Police, said Sami Dako, Director of SRC. The OSP argued that fact-finding committees are a normal feature of public institutions and are not equivalent to self-investigation. Police misconduct is not investigated by fire service officers, and GRA misconduct is not investigated by immigration officers. The principle is the same. The statement stressed the office further accused Mr. Kpegbu of creating deliberate obstacles to avoid cooperating with investigators. He refuses to cooperate, demands that certain officers be removed, gets his wish, and then introduces a new obstacle. Mr. Dako explained. Despite this, the OSP says its officers have remained professional. The office has simply applied the law to protect its personnel. Nobody is above the law, the statement concluded. The New Patriotic Party has revised its party constitution to establish a strategic framework aimed at addressing factors that contributed to its loss in the 2024 general elections. The event brought together senior party officials, former ministers, members of parliament, and grassroots delegates, marking what many describe as a significant milestone toward expanding participation in the party's internal elections. There's more in this package. The NPP headquarters was charged with energy and anticipation as supporters gathered to witness the official launch of amendments to the party's constitution. According to party leadership, the revisions described as historic are aimed at broadening the electoral college and deepening inclusivity in both parliamentary and presidential primaries. Former Minister for Information, Fatimatu Abubakar, emphasized the need to reintegrate former party executives who lost internal elections into the voting process, noting that it will empower them to continue contributing meaningfully to the party's development.
The constituency level, when you work with executives and they don't get the benefit of renewing their mandate, they should not just be thrown away because they've lost elections. If you give them the opportunity to be voting in the presidential and parliamentary elections, they will be energized to continue to contribute to the party, even if they are not sitting executives. So I am excited that we are embracing reform. We are seeking to bring former executives, former ministers, former MMDCs, former parliamentary candidates on board.
Taking her turn to speak on the constitutional amendment, former Member of Parliament for Ablikman North, Nana Ekia Owusu-Efriye, also underscored the importance of the amendments, describing them as essential for promoting fairness, unity, and wider representation within the party.
This is all inclusive. This is all inclusive. These are members who have been with the party for a very long time. I mean, you can understand that somebody who has been a member of parliament before, somebody who has been a former constituency executive before, it is right that we give every individual that opportunity to be part of this voting.
At the grassroots level, Delegates welcomed the expanded electoral college, expressing gratitude to the party leadership for granting them greater influence over key decisions.
Grassroots is the heart of the party. Without the grassroots, there is no party. So bringing the grassroots into to the mainstream, I think makes a great point. Everybody will be filled, involved. Everybody will be filled that, okay, I'm loved or I'm being part of this party. Everybody will work out from his heart.
The party decides. He decides for everyone in the party. So far as everyone has gone through the whole thing, now Obia Verify said it will help the party in India. I think we are all on the safer side. So he's going to help everyone, both grassroots to the top.
We are grateful to the leadership of the NPP for actually making sure that this amendment has come to pass. You see, as a party, and especially right now that we are in opposition, there is always a need for us to broaden the base of the people that elect.
So it's a very nice idea, a brilliant one, and we'll welcome it. We pray it stays. And those coming in, the former executive who are now being recognized, we are pleading to them that they should give us their...
Still on the NPP's constitutional amendment, former Speaker of Parliament and Chairman of the NPP's 2024 Election Review Committee, Professor Michael Quay, says the party's decision to amend its constitution stems directly from the committee's key findings on the party's loss in the 2024 general elections. According to Professor Okoye, the recommendations strongly pointed to the need for an expanded electoral college to enhance the party's internal democracy, with particular emphasis on strengthening women's participation within the party structures.
After the last elections, it was found necessary to look at so many matters, whether it was administrative, political, constitutional, or whatever, in order to satisfy what were the wishes of our people. Therefore, a committee was set up. This committee went throughout all the constituencies in Ghana and brought out their ideas. One important matter was how we should enlarge to the point that ultimately we shall have one person, one vote. This will take some time because of the statistical data collection. But at least former people who had occupied positions and others who can be identified were added automatically. Because this was not provided for in the Constitution, there had to be an amendment, and so on and so forth. Internal organization to make the party stronger in order to satisfy the aspirations of the people.
Meanwhile, former Speaker of Parliament, Professor Michael Quay, has explained that the decision by the New Patriotic Party to omit former Vice President and former flag bearer Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia from the Constitution launch flyer was deliberate. According to him, the party sought to avoid creating any public impression that its presidential primaries were skewed in favor of one candidate.
I think discretion is the better part of valor. If those in the executive, that is the national executive, did not want to create a certain impression of favoritism and so on and so forth, 5 people are contesting for a position. Let sleeping dogs lie with regard to these things, so that it doesn't look as if somebody is favoring somebody, therefore somebody was put on the flyer. This is not a matter for contestants at this stage. It's a matter of the party as a whole. Everybody has a constituency. Even a presidential candidate who has a constituency. We want the constituency to be the microcosm, the micro level of the party structures. If you say go and vote and
away from that, Lands and Natural Resources Minister Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa says the government's proposed lithium framework is designed to automatically raise Ghana's royalty earnings whenever global prices increase, ensuring the country secures greater value from its mineral resources. Speaking at a press conference on Wednesday, the minister explained that the flexible royalty mechanism is a strategic response to volatile market conditions and stiff global competition for mining investment. He also said the government has worked closely with the Attorney General and is now seeking Cabinet's approval to present a new instrument to Parliament that will regulate royalties for lithium and other minerals.
I'm very happy to inform you that we've worked closely with the Attorney General, who will be coming to, once we finish with Cabinet, will be coming to Parliament with a new instrument that will permanently lay a complete, comprehensive guideline on royalties, not only in the lithium sector, but in all minerals. It's very important we do so, having learned lessons as we go forward. Learn lessons. It was very clear, for example, not too long ago, the announce of gold was what? 1,900, 2,500, went over 3,000 and close to 4,000. There's no other mechanism for you to do any adjustment, for example.
Member of Parliament for Otafo, Vincent Eko Asifua, says the government has declined to release information he requested under the Right to Information Act regarding the procurement of sanitary pads for schoolgirls. Asifua, who serves on the minority side in Parliament, has been one of the most outspoken critics of the free sanitary pad policy, alleging serious cost inflation in the procurement process. Citing figures from the 2025 and 2026 budget statements, he argued that government allocated 292 million Ghana cedis to purchase 6.6 million packs of sanitary pads, an amount he calculates to be roughly 44 Ghana cedis per pack.
It cannot even be possible that 12.2 million pads were purchased at the market price of 15 Ghana cedis, especially when local manufacturers were not even given an opportunity to be able to supply these sanitary pads. I am suggesting to you and the people of Ghana that the 12.2 million pads averagely and for a conservative figure can be supplied 10 Ghana cedis per pad. In the event that you want to do a simple analysis of the 10 Ghana cedis, 10 Ghana cedis by 12.2 million Ghana cedis will give you 122 million Ghana cedis. Now the big question is, 292 million minus 122 million Ghana cedis is 170 million. Is that not the case? So where is that 170 million? The attempt to justify inflated prices through transportation cannot withstand scrutiny. Sanitary pads are compact and lightweight, and government says the pads were produced locally. Government must disclose haulage arrangements, cost computations.
That's how we wrap up with the headlines this morning. For more news, log on to our website at www.abcnewsgh.com and follow us on our socials at abcnewsgh_. ABC in the Morning comes up next with Abna Mante. I am Khadija Isifu. Have a nice day.